What's up guys, my name's Lexus More David, and today I have some Taco Bay. It was happier hour, so I have one in there. This is spiked lemonade. I have a fiery Doritos Locos Taco because it is like one of my favorite foods. I have a beefy 5-layer burrito. These are like my two staples from Taco Bell. And I have triple layer nachos. Here are the triple layer nachos. These are $1 and they're actually, I'm not mad at it. I have like no makeup on today. I got out the shower, covered my face in moisturizer. Side note, my face is hella shiny. And then I tried to throw on some mascara and fill in my brows a little bit, but... So I've been super thinking about getting a wig. If I do, what color should I get? I was thinking maybe like a teal or something, but I want something that's an ombre. Like I don't just want it to be one solid color. I mean, unless it's like a dark brown or black or something. But I'm also not trying to spend a bunch of money on it either. I almost forgot. We are gonna play 2 Truths, 1 Lie. If you don't know how to play it, 2 Truths, 1 Lie, basically I'm gonna tell you 3 statements, 3 things about myself. 2 of them are truthful, 1 of them is a lie, and you have to try to figure out which one's the lie. I've snuck into a rooftop party at the beach. After seeing Sandy smoke at the end of the movie Grease, I snuck into my sister's stuff and I stole one of her cigarettes. I've been in a fist fight. You go ahead and think about that. My taco looks a little sad. But it's delicious. Do not be deceived on the quality, well, on the taste of this taco. I don't know why I always hum when I eat. Literally, I'll be editing my videos and like, mofo, stop humming. So sorry if it annoys you guys because it annoys me too, but it also makes me just sit back and think like, wow, I'm a happy mofo when I eat. This is sad, but it's also, you know, this is my happy place. Oh, yes, this is frozen. So of the 3, me sneaking to a rooftop party at the beach, me stealing a cigarette, and me being in a fist fight, I've never stolen a cigarette. Well, I guess I can't fully say that. I've taken my sister's cigarettes and thrown them away. I've also, my grandma had a friend, and he was like, he told my grandma that he had stopped smoking when he didn't. And I went to his house and he just had like a bunch of cigarettes. He wasn't supposed to be smoking, I think because of some medication he was on. And he had told my grandma he wasn't smoking. And he told me, he was like, don't tell your grandma. And I grabbed his cigarettes and I broke them in front of his face one by one. Bro, you know how much cigarettes cost? I'm surprised he did not backhand me. But look at that sass, honey. For me to go to a grown man in his house and pull out his cigarettes one by one. I was honestly 9. Was I 9 years old? I was around that age. And just like... like no shame, and then I tossed them in the dumpster. Thank you for not hitting me. I have snuck into a rooftop party at the beach. My uncle is a super like party like guy. Like, let's go to Vegas, let's go to the club, let's do this, let's do that. My sister was there. My sister was 23. I was 15, and then my uncle, I'm not gonna say his age because he'd probably hit me. We were all at the beach for the 4th of July, and there was just so many parties back to back. Like, we can just see them looking up at the buildings on the beach and just people there having a good time. And one of the doors was propped open, and so we saw some people sneaking up the stairwell to the top of the building. And I was just like looking at them, and then my uncle looked at them and he was like, let's go. And I was like, down. And then my sister was like, no. But it was 2 against 1. So we all, like, with these random people, scurried up the stairs and stuff. And it was like, it was weird. Because as soon as we got up there, like, people were, they weren't dressed fancy, but they were dressed fancier than we were. You could tell we did not belong there. And we actually, some of the people that we went up the stairs with when we ran, some of those people got caught by security and got asked to leave. Because they were like, I'm sorry, this is a closed party, you weren't invited. And then I was looking at them and my uncle was like, look forward. And I was like, okay. I'm like, okay. My sister was so mad. She was so uncomfortable. She was like, we're gonna get in trouble, we're gonna get this and that, and, you know, what's mom gonna say, and blah blah blah. But yeah, then the fireworks started going off. This dude was gorgeous. He was tall, he was so nice looking, and he was talking to me, you guys. I mean, granted, he was 20 something, I was 15, so nothing would have happened anyway. I mean, especially my big sister was right there, nothing really would have happened anyway. But he was adorable and he was talking to me and he was super drunk. I like left him to go do something and he had found a better interest in my uncle than myself. Well, at least one of us got him. So I was just like, well, I don't belong at this party. Everybody else is like kind of really old. That one was honestly like the closest person my age. This was one of those parties where I believe you just had to be 21 and over to be in, you know, but since we snuck in, we kind of bypassed everybody because there was security at this party, bros. There was security there, and not good security, obviously. But one of the things I will never forget that this dude said to me, the really good looking one, before he like went over to my uncle, he was like, what? When the fireworks started going off, it scared the crap out of this guy, and he was just like, you know, this is actually looking back, maybe he wasn't drunk, maybe he was on drugs. Because like the fireworks going off and he was like freaking out, and he was like, why are there fireworks? And I was like, it's the 4th of July. And he was like, it is? And I was like, you can't hold your liquor. And he was like, I've never had anyone tell me that. And I was like, well, they should. Like, he went from like terrified of the fireworks to like, oh my gosh, there's fireworks. Actually, looking at it, I can kind of see why he preferred my uncle. Anyway, we're looking off the fireworks, and then a little bit lower down, like we're at a building maybe like 6 stories high, 7, I don't know. And then there was like a lower building kind of near us. And there was another party going on at the top, the rooftop of that building. So we saw that one. That had a younger crowd. The music was like louder, people were laughing and dancing and blah blah blah. So we were all down to check out that party. We went down the stairs. That party was actually open. It wasn't like a private party. Bros, I've never been surrounded by so many people on drugs in my life. I think people were on ecstasy. I don't know what people were on. I don't know. Everybody was super touchy. That's all I know. Whatever gets you touchy. That's what they were on. This other dude, beautiful. He was like tall and built. He had like a man bun. He was wearing like a a flannel that was like unbuttoned, and he didn't have a shirt underneath. He just had a nice body. He was just gorgeous. Something that completely made me forget about the other guy. And I think that he was on some touchy sexual drug, because he was like all up in my grill, and I did not mind. At first I was super uncomfortable because he was like getting really close to me, kind of dancing on me. I was 15, I had never experienced that, and it made me really uncomfortable. But just like looking at his face made me forgive him. And then my sister came and she was like, what the no. And she like pulled me away. I stayed next to her for the rest of the time. My uncle was like having a blast, talking to people, doing a bunch of things. Everybody had like glow sticks. Like it was pretty cool. I have been in a fist fight. Every time I tell someone I've been in a fist fight, they get really surprised. And that actually makes me feel pretty good, because people are like, oh, you're so bubbly, you're so nice, you're so friendly. I'm surprised. Thank you. I really try hard to be. I'm introverted, antisocial, and I struggle with depression. It means a lot to me when you're like, you're so bubbly and nice and friendly and whatever. But I also, I do not take people's crap. I just really don't. And this chick did not like me at all. I was in 8th grade, she was in 7th, it was in middle school. You may think like, oh, it's just a middle school fight. No. So this girl, we sat next to each other on the bus one day. And like everything she was saying back to back was like F this, F that, like so many cuss words, so unnecessarily put into a sentence. There's a difference between expressing yourself and like you're saying so many cuss words you sound incompetent. Please stop talking. I didn't know her, she didn't know me. So when she just said all these words, I was shocked. And I was just like, wow, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? And apparently that was a no-no. You know, I said it playfully, I was smiling with her. Ooh, playfully smiling with her. She didn't think it was funny. Now, I don't know if this was just her way of joking too, or actually no, she just sounded stupid. She was like, why do you try to sound like a white person? And I was like, what? And she was like, you try to talk like a white person. And I was like, no, I talk the way I was raised to speak. I talk like Lexus. And she was like, no, she was like, you're just trying to be white, you're whitewashed. Now, I grew up in a very racist part of town. Up until my 2nd year of high school, I was always like the darkest person in all of my classes. So all of my friends were white. And so she was black. And so when she said that, I told her, I was like, you know, I'm Creole. And she was like, what is that? It's black, French, Native American, Spanish. And she was like, even that, like, you're black. Why are you ashamed to just say that you're black? So she's telling me that I'm whitewashed, and she's like, you're black, you need to act like it. Like, if you're saying a joke and you're just saying it just purely to be funny, that's cool. But like, if you're saying something in a degrading way to hurt somebody's feelings, that's when it's like, okay, check yourself. Your intentions matter. And so every day, if she would say something stupid to me, I would just answer her with sarcasm. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, not to sound like vain or have a big ego, but I can be very clever. And I can have comebacks fairly quickly. It bothered the crap out of her. Like, whenever she would say something stupid, and I would just have a comeback really quickly. And it got to the point to where she wanted to get physical with me. And she was like, get off at my bus stop. And I was just like, you're in 7th grade, I'm in 8th. You want to fight me, you get off at my bus stop, and I'll show you your place. And so, she never did though, because she was a punk. This is what she did. I was going up the stairs onto the bus. Now, every day that you got on the bus, you had to show the bus driver your school ID card. So I was waiting on the stairs to show my bus driver my card. I had no idea that she had approached her and her little friend. And you know how people, when they're around their friends, they kind of get that like confident boost of like, I'm more important than I really am. Yeah, she had that. So she grabbed my hair while I was standing on the stairs of this bus, and she pulled me down the stairs by my hair. Now, I should have, responsibly, I should have told the bus driver. But I didn't. I showed him my card and I went in the back of the bus and I waited. I waited for her. It genuinely takes a lot to get me to the point to where I'm gonna put my hands on you. It takes so much to get me to that point, you guys. I have like stages. I will go very sarcastic, but as soon as I start getting quiet, that's when you know, like, I'm just a ticking time bomb. And so I waited in the back of the bus and I went up to her. And I'm gonna be honest to you guys, I got in her face and I was like, excuse you, don't you ever touch me again. And I shoved her. And that's where it should have ended. She should have just let me shove her because this person pulled my hair down the bus. But she didn't. She punched me dead in my face. And everything just kind of went black after that. Literally though, I couldn't see for a minute. Like honestly, it was like a fuzzy TV screen. Everything was kind of really black and I can see little like specks of light and like everything was blurry, and then like I could feel my abstinence ring fly off my finger when I got my vision back. It's like everything was in color but all I saw was red. You know what I'm saying? Like I pushed her in one of the seats and just back to back to back on her face, bro. On her face. It was like, I don't know why I'm getting hyped up. I need to sit myself down, bro. Like, oh. Because she hit me first and there was a bus full of witnesses who said she started it. She punched her in the face. One nice person in the back of the bus, they like found my ring and they gave it back to me the next day. But that girl got suspended for like a week or something and I got nothing. But that's actually not true because I got a black eye. And I remember like a couple months later after she came back, she got the same like courage thing again at PE, and we had like, was it dodgeball? We had those like rubber balls. And I was sitting on the floor talking to my friends, and she had her friend, she came up behind me with the ball, and I saw her in my peripheral. Instead of walking directly to me, like this is me, this is her, this is like the PE court inside the gym. Instead of just walking directly to me, she walked around the outline of the gym to come up behind me. Again, boo, why were you coming up behind me? But I saw her in my peripheral. She was on my radar, so I like paced it to when she would be behind me, and then I just looked up at her, and I stood up, and I just looked at her, and she walked away. And you know what? I'm gonna be completely honest, in my head, watching her walk away, I was like, yes, honey, walk away. What you gonna do? Yeah. So that was my fight. This burrito's all like cold. I put on Snapchat, me making a smoothie. And the first thing I do, why did I just rip this open? The first thing I do, it still looks kind of good, if you can see that. It's like nacho cheese, beans, red sauce, beef, sour cream. I think that's it. Yeah, at the very beginning of me making a smoothie on Snapchat, I like break a cucumber. And one of you guys wrote me and you were like, ow. Yeah, anyway. So many stories in this mukbang. It's hardly a mukbang, I guess. Okay. I've peed my pants in public. Not as like a baby or a child or something, but as like a older person. I've ding-dong ditched and then went back to apologize. I've gone skinny dipping. So, of the three, peeing my pants in public, ding-dong ditching, and then going back and apologizing, and skinny dipping, The lie is skinny dipping. I have never been skinny dipping. Need to tone a bit before I do that. I have peed my pants in public when I was 14 years old. And I'm not talking like you start to pee a little bit and then you like close it up because you're like, ah, stop it. No. Bros, I full on pissed myself at Taco Bell. I was with my sister Corniche. My sister Corniche is 2 years older than me. We went to Taco Bell when I was a freshman in high school, and my sister's freaking hilarious. She would say something so funny while I'm drinking something, and I would like spit it out, and I'm just like, Corniche, stop. And I don't remember what she said, but she said something, and instead of me spitting it out, I just started peeing, and I tried to stop it, and it stopped for a cool like 3 seconds. Like, I clenched it up, honey, closed it up, locked it. At least I tried to, but there was a crack still in the door, and the floodgates just whoosh. And I remember sitting there in my pee, and I was like, bro. And she just saw my face change, and she was like, what happened? And I was like... So we were like the only two people really sitting and eating it. There might have been one other person, but it was pretty empty. So I took my soda cup, and I filled it with lemonade, and I poured it all over my pee. To make it try to look like I just spilled my lemonade. Clever. My sister just told the person, like, you know, I'm sorry, my sister spilled her drink. They were getting a mop. I went in the ladies' room. There was like 3 or 4 stalls in there, but there was a lock on the door. So I locked myself in. I take off my pants and I put them in the sink. And I'm trying to like soap, water, like wash out my pants. I remember my sister knocked on the door and I was like, who is it? My sister at that point, my sister, especially like in high school, was super seen. Teased hair, the fringe, the candy bracelets, all up and down her arms, the rages, the tutus, wearing a pacifier. That was my sister. And so she had on like 3 shirts, and one of her shirts was, what is it called? Like a tube top. And so she took that off and I wore it as a skirt. Thank you, Jesus. We had to do the walk of shame from Taco Bell all the way back to the house. So we had to do like the crosswalk, walk through the little neighborhood. And I'm like, you know, a bigger person. My thighs are rubbing together, especially since they were just wet in this tube top shirt. My sister was like a size 2 or something. So, definite walk of shame. But thank God, the only walk of shame I've ever had, so... Okay, I've ding-dong ditched and then gone back to apologize. When I was in middle school, I had like 3 or 4 friends. I know what you're thinking. I don't know how I had that many either. And we were at the apartments of one of my friends, and they were like, hey, let's ding-dong ditch. And I was like, hey, no. And they always tell me like, Lexus, you're a party pooper, blah, 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 blah. And I guess it was peer pressure. I had agreed to try it once. And this is the only time in my life I've ever ding-dong ditched. Because I live with my grandma, and it's just like, don't inconvenience someone or don't interrupt someone. Because if someone ding-dong ditched my grandma, I would be so mad. So I was just like, I'm not even messing with that. I have manners and, you know, stuff. We ding-dong ditched the house and everybody ran. And I started to run and then I stopped and I turned around and I looked at the door. I looked at this door for probably at most maybe 2-3 seconds. It felt like an eternity, bro. I felt like all of my values and all of my morals were leaving with me while I was running away from this door, and I walked back. One of the guys that went to our school lived in that apartment. He was very attractive, P.S. And so I knew he lived there, and his mom answered the door, and I knew he had like 3 or 4 siblings or some amount. And his mom answered, and I was like, oh. I was like, is Darren here? And she was like, yeah. And so she went to go get him. He came to the door, and I was like, hey. We ride the same bus. I am so sorry. We like tried to ding-dong ditch your house. It won't happen again. I didn't want your mom to think that like I just came over here for nothing. So yeah, I explained that to him. He was like, oh, okay, thank you. And then I left with my pride and my dignity. So that one was that. Yeah, I'm a hot mess. I'm a hot mess. I remember my friends were watching from like behind a bush and they just have that look like, Lexus. Getting so full. You're my favorite. You guys, come on, focus camera, focus, focus, This is the cutest packet I've ever seen. This is how you know you're sappy. Like, just this statement alone can make me cry. This is like finding the statement in a fortune cookie. You know, super generic, but it's just like, that statement is so heavy. I don't even want to open that sauce. What's this one? You should at least try. Just the beginning. You should at least try. I think you're pretty, eh? I'm a good listener. Let's see. Ready? Are you ready for this? You should at least try. I think you're pretty. I'm a good listener. You are my forever. Son, all of the feels up in here from these sauce packets. Get her to call you back, bro. You're welcome. You know what sounds really good? Coffee. But like iced coffee. Sounds really good. So this is what I have left, a little bit more than half a burrito. I really need to go meet with the boss and go to the office. I want to clear my conscience and my colon. I'm gonna go drop a deuce. So I'll see you guys later. If you guys like this video, then once again, my name's Lexus More David, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. If you don't know how to play Two Truths, One Lie, wait, I just said that backwards. If you don't know how to play Two Lies, One Truth. What the heck is this game called? It's called Two Truths, One Lie. Right? Yeah. Yeah. That was so sad.